Thank you. Last night, I told people that I have the gift of speech. Previously, when I was growing up, they used to say anotauris, kanaltane noise. So if you're one of those, I just want you to know that when God gave you that personality, we have a gift of speech. Be intentional about using that gift. If you have children that are like me, high energy, they speak, please don't label them. I always start by not talking, but today I talked. So I'll start the way I normally start. Makadini salibonani linjani imacheroni makwachini muriwa dihere boroi makadini salibonani linjani imacheroni makwachini muriwa dihere bonjour hello can we be bonjour, hello, can it be? Boroi, makadini, salivonani, linjani, dimacheroni, mahwachini, muriwa, dihere. ¿Cómo estás? Ni hao, jambo. ¿Cómo estás? Ni hao, habari. Shalom, namaste, konnichiwa. Hola, alo, chao. Boroi. Magadini salivonani linjani dimacheroni makwachini muriwa dihere here mwari makanaka ona mwari makanaka ende mwari makanaka shua mwari makanaka inga mwari makanaka ona mwari makanaka ende mwari makanaka shua mwari makanaka biri enyu gai kudze mwari makanaka gai kudze ho biri enyu gai kudze mwari makanaka iherere Mwari wakanaka, tinoda kuvatenda. Maudzwa zvese, hanzi certified coach, author, speaker, mbira player. I receive that. I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am all that. And I give glory to God. And as I stand here, I want you to know my life was not always that way. I have experienced pain and trauma from my birth as a girl child, being told you're not enough because an heir was expected, but I came girl number 3. My mother called me in the easy way. Had I known that I would produce yet another girl child, had I known that I would fail to produce an heir, and so I came into this world with the energy of you are not enough. Does that ring a bell with anybody here? As women, this is our story, most of us. And society tends to tell us that boys are more important than girls. That became my pain. When I gave birth to my daughters, I vowed that I would never raise them to be those women who would accept abuse. I would never raise them to be those children who would not be worthy of inheritance. I wanted them to speak up. I wanted them to be powerful and to use their voice and to have good hearts and to treat people with love. When I gave birth to my son, I got worried. We are coming to mother, behold thy son. After taking punches in primary school for being more brilliant than boys and getting groped by the manager at work, boys in high school, feeling entitled to my body, I knew that I did not want to raise a son like that. And so the idea of mother, behold thy son started birthing itself in my womb. What kind of men do I want to see when I'm done my duty as a mother? When I reached 48 years, the age my mother died in 2018, I asked myself, if I died today, what would I leave as a legacy? And I got scared. I was grieving my mom. I looked in the mirror and I said, but I'm not that old. So it means mom died young. Because when you're young and you're looking at your parent and they're old, you think they're an old person until you get there, right? So I'm asking, did mama do everything that she wanted to do in her life? Have I done everything? So 1, fear of death. 2, fear of death and not leaving anything. So that's when I decided to birth the story. The process had been going on, the pain, the trauma, the realization that I can't be drowning in my trauma. I have to change my story. But I think I was taking small steps, making those changes. Like, I don't want to raise my children the way I was raised. I don't think it's the way I was raised, actually. It's the way society looks at girls and women. And I don't want to raise my boy. But the birthing of the story was really ignited by the desire to leave a legacy. And it was triggered by my mother. She was a powerful, beautiful woman. When she named me, I realized she was speaking against a system that blames women, even for things that men are responsible for. Men are responsible for the gender of our children. But when you give birth to girls, it's us mothers that get blamed. So I wanted to change it. And I wanted to share my story, my pain as a girl child, and my dream as a mother, that I want to raise girls that are empowered, but also a boy that is empowered, even though it's in a different way. So that was the birth of Mother, Behold Thy Son. I think I just wanted to give that background. When I went to North America, it became very apparent that I'm black. Something that is not an issue when you're with people that look like you for the most part, but you become a minority there. So they pushed the black label on us. I looked at myself and I said, if it's skin color, what color am I? And so I was housing trauma in my body. I didn't know I always knew that I wanted to tell my story about the war and what I saw British soldiers doing to my parents, and I didn't understand why. So when I went there, I reflected. Oh, I'm angry, I'm hurting. The memory of that child that saw their parents being beaten by British soldiers and taken to prison, together with my baby sister when she was barely 2 weeks. I was 5, I remember. And that was trauma. I needed to tell that story. So the way people are treated, the way people that look like me are treated in North America, it's one day a person is dying, a person that looks like us. So when we're there, we cease to be Mashona, Mandebele, South Africans, Zimbabweans, we are black people. And so the trauma, the vicarious trauma of just continuously hearing these stories and being treated like less than, you walk there, you get called nigger by a 6-year-old. Then in 2022, I wanted to tell that story from my childhood and heal all those wounds and say, can we create a better world born out of love, even love for that one that's tormenting you, that calls you nigger? Can I have it in my heart to engage them out of love so that maybe they can come over and we get to treat each other as equal human beings? It's a big dream. People laugh at you when you have such dreams, right? But I believe in the dream. I believe that there's more love in the world than there is hate. We're just not meeting. So I'm grateful, Sylvia, for this meeting that allows us to be and just tell our stories and to share our dreams. It begins with a dream. It began with a dream, like she said. I want to go home and share this woman that I've become. The story of a victim. I was treated like this man did that. But ladies, I had to learn to change my narrative. And I took an unflinching moral inventory of myself. What is my part in the situation that I am in? I decided to be with that man. At some point, things were jiving. So I took responsibility for that decision. Whatever happened to me were consequences of my choices. So I stopped being a victim. And I got curious. What is that guy's story, the father of my children? I never asked him. I was concerned about my narrative and my victimhood. But when I was reflecting in 2018, I told you when my mother died, a lot of things happened that are good. So I was like, what's this guy's story? And then I went deep into the causes. It's not about him as an individual. This is about a society. This is about a system. And it's not affecting one man. So if I put it on him, I'm wasting my energy. I want to be able to share how the system plays us, male and female. And I liberated myself. I don't hate the father of my children. I think it is self-hate if I hate him because I look at my children and I see him. I look at my grandchildren and I see him. He is with me forever. So I would rather love. And I'll tell my daughter here, I love your father, but I just love him differently. I created 3 human beings, beautiful human beings with him. So today I'm sharing this, but there was a time I think I cried for more than 12 years. And it took me maybe a few more years to completely understand that I had to let go. Evict myself from Victim Street to Victory Street. Something had to change in my mind. It's a journey. And sometimes we take so long. My job here today is for me to share with you how we can short-circuit the process so that we don't live in our victimhood. It's like our hand is on the stove when we are victims, when we are in pain, when we are in trauma. We need to talk about it, like now. We need to heal ourselves. We need to get help with professionals. We need to process things, but we need to understand the deeper causes that go beyond the individual. Then we uproot the problem from there. This was not planned. I just follow the spirit. What I'm being told to say now, that's what I'm saying. There was an assignment. I was once a teacher. And I don't think I have quit being a teacher. So for you to be in this space today and to maximize on understanding ourselves so that that process of transformation, of changing the narrative, of evicting ourselves from victimhood to victory begins, if it has not already begun. What I know as a human being is we are all wired to begin the process. But the formula, maybe for some, will take longer. So like I said, the process that's about to start will make you see you first before you even go to the next person. Deal with you. Know yourself. And be on the journey to be your best version. I'm not yet there, but I think I like this version. This grandma. And I have the energy. I still have the energy. Like I said, my gift allows me to speak to people. It blesses me when I connect with people. That's what gives me energy. So I thank God for that. And we're going to the next assignment now. Tandy, internet really right? Yes. Okay. So you had an instruction to take a saboteur test. We call it a saboteur test. I'm going to explain what that is. But if you go on www.positiveintelligence.com, use the email that you use normally and just answer those questions honestly. Please do not overthink it. Just answer them naturally and do not judge yourself as you go through that test. I would like someone to let me know what the time is now in the 10 to 12. So at 10 after 12, we will be complete with the saboteur test. 10 past 12. Yes. And then we will move from there. I think I'll explain after you've taken it so that you focus. Thank you. ingatonda mwarimi mwana uyo aneronda vari kumuronda ingatonda mwarimi mwana uyo aneronda mwana wenyu mwari uyo aneronda mwari wenyu mwana uyo misodzi pamatama rufaro rwatotama misodzi pamatama rufaro rwatotama aneronda vari kumuronda ingatonda mwarimi mwana uyo asi anofamba nokutenda ava kutotenda mwana uyo ari kufamba munyasha ava kutotenda mwana uyo pfungwa dzanofunga mashoko anopanga pfungwa dzanofunga mashoko anopanga zora paronda zviri kutoshanda ingatotenda mwarimi mwana uyo hachina ronda mwari wenyu mwana uyo hachina ronda mwari wenyu mwana uyo pfungwa dzanofunga mashoko anopanga pfungwa dzanofunga mashoko anopanga zora paronda zviri kutoshanda ava kutotenda mwarimi mwana uyo pfungwa dzanofunga imi mashoko anopanga pfungwa dzanofunga imi mashoko anopanga zora paronda zviri kutoshanda ava kutotenda mwarimi mwana uyo What the mbira has done for me is amazing. Allowing me as a mom to communicate with my children without language, with just the music playing and doing the healing in the, in the most mysterious ways that I could not explain. Because when I bought it, I didn't intend for anybody to play it or to play it myself. It was just for display in the home because I loved the mbira and the sound of it from other people. But what it taught me is sometimes you're just called to do something and you don't understand. I don't understand why I started playing mbira at 37. But now what it has done for me, it earns me money to look after my family. It heals me and it makes me proud when I'm away from home. Every time people are looking for somebody to present something cultural, they look for me, they find me. And I get paid obscene amounts of money for a few minutes to play. And I never knew that.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Come on, Bluetooth. Be friendly. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that journey that mbira has really blessed me and it has healed me. I have an album, Kwasunama, that I created with my kids. I invite you to go on Spotify. I don't think you have to pay. Just go and listen. it's not the professional musician kind of a sound that you hear, but you hear the imperfections of mother and children healing together, bonding. And today, if you're a parent, I encourage you, maybe you're not musical, but play with your kids. Get to know them like the back of your hand. They need it. A minute to go. Okay. And so, as we approach 12:10, what you're doing on the Positive Intelligence website is not my intellectual property. It is the intellectual property of Shehzad Shamin, the author of the book Positive Intelligence. I am a positive intelligence coach, meaning I went through training by Shehzad Shamin. I'm one of the pioneer coaches in cohort number 3 of his coaches that are helping him to spread the word of positive intelligence. I'll explain what it is from what he taught me. Positive intelligence is the ability of us human beings to deal with life's challenges with a positive mindset as opposed to a negative mindset. We are using it synonymously with mental fitness training, because what we are really doing when we are positively intelligent is we are training our brain as if we are going to the physical fitness gym, but we are in the mind gym. So we learn exercises, quests to strengthen our mind so that it becomes true that we are dealing with life's challenges with a positive mindset as opposed to a negative mindset. The test that you have just done is called a saboteur test. Maybe you're wondering, what's saboteur? Let me unpack that. Saboteur is anything that makes you feel negative. Any negative feelings that you're experiencing, that is saboteur. Saboteur comes from sabotage. You are destroying yourself. When you're angry, when you're frustrated, when you're anxious, when you're stressed, when you are worried, you are in saboteur. Right? That's self-sabotage. It doesn't serve you at all. Am I preaching? Okay. So how it's described is like your hand is on the stove. Something happens, it triggers you. What happens when you're triggered? You're in saboteur, your hand is on the stove. So my mission is to travel with you so that we learn to take our hand off the stove. But we need to understand the saboteurs first. Each one of us has them. There's no one on this earth without them. If Jesus Christ was walking today, he would be the one without. And maybe, like I've dared to challenge things and beliefs, I'd say at some point he was angry and he beat up people. So he was a little bit saboteur. But he's the perfect example of what we call the sage, which is the opposite of the saboteur. So when you're in a sage, if you're Christian, you're like Jesus Christ, the epitome of unconditional love, non-judgment. So we want to walk towards what we believe in so that we are true to ourselves, who we say we are, who we want to be. So the saboteur test is really getting to know how we process things or how we behave. And I'll own up to mine, by the way. I did mine and I'll share mine. So this is a non-judgment zone. That's what I want to also really tell you. This is a safe space. I don't get to discuss anything that happens here elsewhere in detail, except for general how was it and stuff like that. I don't talk about your saboteurs. You are safe. I'm trained to do this work, so I need at least to tell you this is a safe space, non-judgment, no repercussions. Unless you killed someone, I will report you to the police. but there are no repercussions. What happens here stays here. If you want to share, you will share yourself. So, yeah, saboteurs. Sage, I said Jesus Christ is the sage. Those who believe in other higher powers, it's whoever you pray to. So sometimes we're in denial that I don't have that saboteur. Today, we're going to be learning together to be vulnerable and to accept that we have these saboteurs. The assessment you did is for particular, what we call accomplished saboteurs. There's one saboteur that each and every one of us here has, and that's called the judge. Judge of self, judge of others, and judge of circumstances or God. How do we do that? You go to the mirror, you look at yourself. Ndakashata, ndakashiba, ndakachuka, ndakafuta, ininda izvita manje ndine fat. Right? I'm judging myself. How I know is the feelings associated with the statements that I say to myself are not positive. So that's how you know. You are judging yourself and that saboteur. So that judge we all have. And especially in my culture, when I was learning this, I said, ooh, I think as a people, we are actually in trouble. Because we are the ones that say, a child that you go sharwa, we say a lot of things. So that's the judge. So the beginning of this journey to be positive will need us to own our judge. Not kuti my judge, the judge. I corrected Coach Shazad, because when we were talking about the judge and saboteurs, my judge, my saboteurs, I said, Coach, can we say the judge and the saboteurs? Because when you own them, unoma peka. We don't want the judge to do that. Because what happens when we are judging ourselves, we are not confident. Our self-esteem is down. When we judge others, we take our spirit, negative spirit, and it goes on to the next person. And we create a vortex, like a tsunami of judgment. Because I'm judging you, you're judging me. You started it with something negative. When we judge circumstances, we say things like, Marandi seka, andipachirwere, Marandi seka, mwana wangu azodai, dadzingwa basa. Today, you will learn that we can actually begin to walk away from judging even the things that we think are the worst things in our lives. And we can create gifts and opportunities from there. They are opportunities and gifts from any circumstance. Kufirwa, kurambra, anything, kudzingwa basa, kushungurudzwa nezvinhu zvakawanda, things that are outside our control. We can learn not to say, okay, they happened, but what is the gift? What is the opportunity? So I think we can go on to the next stage. And this is the page of Jesus on so mental fitness, friend, through science. Everything we're doing is science. We can rewire our brain. We can teach it to travel following a new neural pathway. If we're used to anger, a child does something to us, we are mad. What do? We yell things into existence, right? So that's a pathway that our brain is taking for now, because that's what we know. And we don't judge ourselves, because but we all know We can parent that way through our saboteurs. And you will produce results, granted. But you can also parent using positivity, where it's out of unconditional love. And you have a dialogue with your children. And they feel safe. When a child is safe and happy, what happens? They perform better. And their mental well-being is intact. So today, this is what we are doing. We can choose this neural pathway. We grew up in the culture. So we want to learn to train the brain to be our friend and maybe change that pathway to this pathway. So in this workshop, we are going to be shifting into a much more personal aha experience about the true cost of our saboteurs. So makumaziyaka. So we are going to be aware. At the end of this workshop, we're going to be aware of which one and how does it impact our relationships, our personal relationships, our relationships at work, our relationships with children and grandchildren for those that have. We're going to normalize having saboteurs. Guys, we are human beings having a human experience. Once you know your saboteur, those with partners or children, we're not doing that. Right. So once you know, you will be responsible with the knowledge that you have. It's nice to profile people. So I'm just joking about it, but please don't go and do that to your husbands or your children or other people. Get to know yours and work on you. And then if you're going to share, you're going to share by saying, take your saboteur test and find out for yourself. Then you can have a dialogue. We are going to remove guilt about our saboteurs, shame and denial. There's no place for shame, blame, and denial when we do this work. That's positive intelligence. We stop blaming, shaming, and guilt tripping. We are going to generate real motivation to combat the saboteurs. Up, a battle of the mind, right? So we want to tell it that we run you, you don't run us. Yeah, the assignment, yeah. So the saboteur test, you've already done that. And so now, I would like you to choose the first one, maybe the one you scored highest or the one you feel you actually want to deal with now, today. I want to say thank you for being willing to do the work, for being vulnerable. Whether you like it or not, a process has started. It's up to you where you want to take it. I promised that I would do the PQs. So I'm just going to do PQs. Whenever you find yourself hijacked by your saboteurs, your hand is on the stove. These are very simple exercises. Don't underestimate them. Can we put our two fingers together? Can you rub the tip of your fingers and feel the ridges rubbing against each other? Just focus on that touch, the sensation, and let go of any thoughts that you might have. Just focus on that. And now I invite you to put your hands together. Put your two hands together. Rub together. Rub the tips of your fingers against each other, your palms against each other, just that movement. Focus on that movement. Let go of any thoughts that you might have. Now I invite you to count your toes. What do you call it? Not tickle. Wiggle. Right, wiggle is the right word. Wiggle your toes and see how many you can count. Just focus on that activity. Let go of any thoughts that you might have. Now I invite you to breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. As you breathe in, focus on the temperature going in through your nose. Temperature going out through your nose. Breathe in. Out. Which temperature is warm? Which temperature is cold? The one coming in or going out? Let's breathe in and figure that out. And out. You can answer me, which air is colder or warmer, in or out?
Out. In is cold.
Out is warm, yes. So you breathe in, out. If you focus on the temperature of air coming in and air coming out, your thoughts are there. They are not running around anywhere. The last one, I want us to tense our bodies. Please don't hurt yourself. Be gentle. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Just tense everything that you can tense. Your skull, your forehead, your jaw, your neck, your chest, your arms, your tummy, your seat, your thighs, your calves, your feet. Tense everything and feel the tension in your body. Let go. Let go. These are what we call PQs. We go to the gym. Every time something happens, whichever works for you, it might be this, it might be breath, it might be toes, it might be tense and relax. Tense and relax works for me when I'm angry. Straight up. When I'm angry, just tense, and then you relax. And you feel your body moving from where it was.
rekudana chiedza kubva munerima ndi Jesu ane simba ndiye chiedza murima anewe pese paunofamba mungava mumoto mungava mukura akakuziva usati wavepo akakurumba nemaoko ake kufanana naye iwe unoti hazirie saka unoti hazirie shuwa unoti hazirie iwe unoti hazirie. Listen. Paya pauno tambura kurara uchishaya kana irozano kuchema kwako kunozwika nani paya pauno rara uchichema uchifunga kuti uriweka misodzi yako munamato iwo munamato usati wavepo akakumba nemawoko ake kufanana naye iwe unoti haziriere saka unoti haziriere shua unoti haziriere iwe unoti haziriere Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.